Hello and welcome back to the Baggies Podcast YouTube channel, where of course we're giving you the latest news, views and opinions on all things Albion. Today it's a match reaction video post-match after the Birmingham City friendly away at the St Andrews Trillion Trophy Stadium. So what a win it was in the end for Albion, 4-0 running out victors, and we're going to go into all the details and all that jazz about the game. I know it was only a friendly, but I think there's a lot to be excited about, and we're going to go into all those details in this video today. But if you're new around here, be sure to drop a subscribe, as I'm looking to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. If we can get 500 before the start of the season next week against Bournemouth, that'd be fantastic. And if you haven't watched the latest podcast episode, which was with Joe Chapman from the Birmingham Mail, who gave us a good insight into what we can expect for the season ahead, make sure you go and check that out. You can listen to it in your ear on your podcast platform, or you can watch it in video form on the YouTube channel. But anyway, if you want to leave your thoughts on the game in the comments below, feel free to do that as well. But let's get straight into this video, all about West Brom 4, Birmingham 0. 0 today against one of the supposed championship dark horses in Birmingham City. I think it was a really good win for Albion, in my opinion. I thought first half, if we talk about that first, I think we did look a little bit shaky. I think we used a bit of a different back three to what we used to. So we used Matt Clark instead of Semi Ajayi, who was on the bench. And then we also went for Callum Robinson up front over Matt Phillips, who has been playing in most of the friendly games up front, but unfortunately is currently isolating at the moment. So Albion still doing pretty well and still rotating the squad. Obviously, a few missing names off the bench. Of course, Matt Phillips missing off the bench. Robert Snodgrass not on the bench again. Alex Palmer not on the bench. And also Kevin Castro, who many thought that may break into the first team, but just wasn't available on the bench. Hopefully, we'll find out a reason why that was very soon. But in terms of the lineup, just a couple of changes in there, and then obviously the standard lineup with O'Shea at the back with Bartley, Button in goal, Matt Clark there as well, and then Townsend, Furlong on the wing backs, then Livermore and Mowat in the middle, and then the front three of Karlan Grant, Callum Robinson, and also Grady Dean Garner. Now the game started, I'd say, pretty heavily weighted towards Birmingham. The first half was very Birmingham central. They had quite a few chances. They were cutting us open relatively easily. They were trying to get in behind and playing the ball quickly as well. When we were pressing up on them, we were really squeezing up on that Birmingham side, and they're moving the ball very quickly. Therefore, it's very hard for us to really swarm on a player and nick the ball. So Birmingham did start very well, and they did start the better of the two teams. However, as the game got further on and into that second half, we started to really dominate the game and started to take the ball to them and started to carve out some real clear-cut chances, in my opinion. I think we didn't rush things, definitely in that attacking third. I said at half-time, actually, I think there's need for a striker in the middle, and I still stand by that. And although we got four goals today, all by four different goal scorers, I do feel like there was still something missing in that front area that potentially we could have relied on, which is I think we're just missing something in there. I just thought the combination play wasn't quite as quick as maybe we thought. But in terms of the game, I think we did dominate the first period overall. I think the second half of that first half was really prominent from Albion, failing to convert a few chances really. But now we haven't conceded in any friendly, have we? I suppose the defence is looking very organised. We did concede quite a few clear-cut chances to Birmingham. We let them run down the right-hand side a few times. However, Albion, in that second half, we came to life. I think half-time must have been a bit of a grilling, because I know Birmingham are a good side, and I think they are a lot of people's dark horses in the Championship after making some really good additions. And they did look very strong in that first half. They did compete with us very well, and they moved the ball very quickly, which prevented us from pressing them really effectively. However, in that second half, we really came to life. Grady Dean Garner put away an early goal in that second half, which was a very good goal. Darnell Furlong came in on his left foot, crossed it in, and Dean Garner heads it over the keeper as he came to sort of punch it away. And the ball's in the back of the net for Dean Garner, and he scored a header, which was fantastic for him. I'm just glad that some of the boys are getting some goals in, which is really good to see, because confidence can be key in the Championship, and obviously Dean Garner is a player that potentially has been low on confidence over the past season or so. So we hope to see him getting back in. It was only a minute or so into that second half, a few minutes or so into that second half, where Diangana got a looping header, and it did play very nicely into the corner. And then a few minutes after that, I think Carlin Grant went through on goal. Robinson slotted him in, and Skarkic, the goalkeeper for Birmingham City, on loan from Wolves, we must say, came out and made a one-on-one save against Carlin Grant. I thought he maybe should have buried it, if I'm being completely honest and truthful about that one. I think he should have buried that one. But I thought that we were starting to dominate the game in that second half. The second half is where we really came to life, and I think that's where we really put ourselves to the test, and we started showing exactly what we've been working on. There was a bit of a ball bounce in the area. Alex Mowatt's free kick came in, and Matt Clark just ended up just getting a little head on it, and it just sort of, I suppose it sort of trundled into the goal. It wasn't much of a power header. It just sort of bobbled into the goal, and Matt Clark got his first goal for West Bromwich Albion. I think that's in his first start as well, which is very good to see. I thought in terms of defending, he looked very good, but maybe balls playing out from the back didn't quite look as good as he has done playing for Derby, really. But I thought that he did defend particularly well against some of the quick forwards that Birmingham had to offer. Especially in that second half when they had players like Ivan Sanchez who was running at him. I thought he defended really well against him. Jonathan Lecco was up front for Birmingham City, but again, I just don't see any talent from him, unfortunately, Jonathan Lecco. He didn't really look at it. First touch off and trying to take the ball round play is just not good enough, unfortunately. And yeah, he didn't really show much quality today, thankfully, for Albion. Obviously, Matt Clark puts 2-0 up after about 70 minutes. But then literally about 2 minutes later, Callum Robinson, I think it was a last-minute challenge from Roberts at the back for Birmingham City. And I don't think he got much of the ball before he got the man. I think he got the man and then the ball, and that's why it was a penalty. Obviously, they didn't show the replay, so I can't be 100% sure, to be honest. But it looked like he'd just gone through Robinson when he was through on goal. And it looked like he'd just sort of sweep the ball away after, like, I've got the ball. But obviously I didn't quite see the replay because they didn't show any replays on the Birmingham TV. But Robinson was brought down, and then it was a Carlin Grant penalty that was put away, which was very good to see for Carlin Grant. Obviously hasn't scored since that game against Brighton, a couple of games into his Albion career. Well, I think we were all over them in that second half, and then we made a few changes. We brought in Kipre, Ajayi, and Zahor, who came on, and then Tulloch and Sawyers came on too. And Kenneth Zahor charged down the left-hand side and crossed it into Rad Tulloch, who did an absolutely fantastic finish and got it straight into the net. And I was very pleased with that. It was a very good cross from Kenneth Zahor, very good run as well. 4-0 in the end from Albion. But a bit of an analysis from that game. In that first half, when Birmingham were moving the ball quickly, I thought that they really overpowered our press and sort of ran away from our press and managed to avoid it. But I think in that second half, Birmingham obviously started to tire. The urgency slips a little bit as you're in a friendly game in the second half, and they stopped moving the ball quickly, and we were winning the ball back high at the pitch. We were knocking the ball around really nicely. In that second half, we showed pure dominance. I thought Diangana looked very good today. It's very good to see him get himself a goal. Confidence is everything for these young players, especially the ones in that front line of Robinson, Carlin Grant, and Diangana. It's very key for them to get themselves a goal or get themselves a good run in past a defender to get some confidence. And I think that they did that today. Alex Mowat, I thought, looked really good, sharp on the ball. Even Jake Livermore, I know maybe people say that he doesn't really look... maybe he doesn't really look the player, doesn't really look, is he really a fashionable type of player? I thought he looked really good today. I don't really understand the fascination with the slander for Livermore. I think he's doing a really good job. He's got the press and he's got the fitness. He's a hard worker and he's going to work in Valérien Ismaël's system. I know we do need a bit of depth in the midfield, but I do feel that Jake Livermore has got a part to play this season, and I think that could be in the starting 11 from what I've seen today. But in terms of what we saw from the defence, we looked very solid at the back. In that second half, we really started to push up and start to squeeze Birmingham, and that's where they really started to struggle on the ball. I thought Matt Clark played very well. Obviously got his goal, which is kind of not really what I'm basing it on, but his defending was very good. I think the ball playing out from the back was a bit dodgy at times from Matt Clark, but other than that, I thought really good. Bartley, just head kick defending that centre of the back three. O'Shea, pretty decent as well. I prefer Sami Ajayi there, I think, in this back three if we're going to push up, if you need his pace. But I think O'Shea did a very good job, and I also thought that Button did all right as well, coming out and sweeping the ball. But in terms of the game, I thought that we overpowered them at times in that second half, and I think that's why we won the game. But I think there's a little bit of a reason to get carried away. I think we just played really well. I know it's a friendly, and I know Birmingham lost their urgency in that second half, but I can see us doing really well this season if we're going to play like that against teams like that. I think the striker is a bit of an issue for me. Obviously, if you haven't seen the video where I suggest some possible striker targets for the club, make sure you go and do that. And go and watch that. It'll be at some point in this video, you'll see a little I button come up there, and if you click that, it will show you all the different videos that I'm recommending for you. So maybe go and watch that one and just check out the candidates that I've thought of for a striker. But yeah, I thought a dominant display from Albion today in that second half. Definitely 4-0. Can't be much more happier than that. But we've got Bournemouth next Friday, and obviously the Championship opener. So we're looking forward to that and hoping that we can pick up a victory. But that does bring me to the end of this video. If you're new around here, be sure to subscribe. Make sure you get your subscriptions in, because I'm looking forward to posting some more content such as match day vlogs, which are coming for home games this season as my season ticket has now arrived. So I'm looking forward to sharing those with you, and I'll be taking my camera along to the game, show you what I see from the games, and obviously give my thoughts as the game's happening. So that'll be quite fun for you guys to watch. If you do want to watch that, be sure to subscribe and comment your thoughts on the friendly below. Do you think that that is a realistic telling of the season ahead? Because if it is, I'm sure we've got a lot to look forward to. Valerian Ismail is implementing his system, and it's going very well. But that brings me to the end of this video. If you're new, please be sure to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye, Baggies fans. Have a fantastic week.